single, I was 24 and the dating pool was everyone. And now it's like a shallow puddle of age-appropriate men who are old and gross, and I don't want to do that.
A minor misstep cost her 14 years. Instant divorce regret. We have a video from The Wall. Like the video, subscribe, stay on the path of progress. Let's get into it.
My husband told me he wanted a divorce. My husband and I have been married for 8 years, but we've been together 12 years. And this has never been a problem in our marriage whatsoever. My little girl is allergic to dairy and my little boy has a dairy and gluten intolerance. Naturally, as a family, we have just gone dairy-free and gluten-free. I am a big believer that food is medicine. We have eaten organic and just more wholesome foods. Now, I've never told my husband that he needed to eat this way. And I don't care if people eat this way or not. And my husband has gone along with this the whole time. My husband came home and he had this huge bag of groceries and he set it on the counter and I looked inside of it and there are 20 boxes of fruit roll-ups. I was so confused and I said, why did you buy these fruit roll-ups? And he said, you know, I'm sick and tired of living this way. I don't want to do it anymore and I do want a divorce. Listen, nobody's a prisoner here. You know, talk this out. Let's go back to therapy. I feel like this is a workable situation. He proceeded to tell me it's not and that the next thing he's going to buy is fruit gushers. In that moment, I could feel myself getting angry. I'm going to walk away from the situation. And when I got up from the table, I woke up from my dream.
Bro. Get him out of here. I feel befooled. I was totally invested. I had this whole lineup of commentary ready to go for you guys, and I've been befooled. For the sake of the video, let's just say this was real, okay? Because I gotta get this out of my head. It's very understandable that you would switch the way you cook for your family's diet. Obviously, that makes sense. If there was a situation like this where the man has a huge problem with the way she's cooking, tell her. Tell her about the problem. Tell her you're not okay with it and have her make different food for you and different food for your children. Just like that. You don't just have to go along with these things. Have a backbone. Stand up for yourself. Have boundaries. All right, there it is. Let's continue.
I cheated on my husband of 14 years and lost him forever. This is long, but it's something I need to get off my chest. My husband, 36 male, and I, 36 female, have been together for 16 years and married for 14. We have 2 daughters who are 13 and 12. About 3 months ago, I cheated on him with my coworker once, and I immediately regretted it. To be honest, I still haven't figured out the real reason why I cheated. On the surface. The reason would be that my husband was too caught up with work for a couple of months, and I felt neglected and unappreciated at times. I know that this isn't the real reason, so I'm trying to figure it out through individual counseling. I only cheated on him that one time and immediately told him the next day because I couldn't bottle up my guilt and shame. He was shocked at first, but then went on to call me the most horrid names. I deserved it. I deserved it a lot more than that. I don't even know how it got to the point of me sleeping with my coworker. It started with innocent flirting, and before I knew it, I made the worst mistake of my life by sleeping with him. I wish I'd gotten hit by a car the day before sleeping with him. I cut off all contact with my coworker and gave up my phone to my husband. I wanted to reassure him that I was willing to make this work on his terms, whatever they were, as long as he would give me another chance. Even though in my heart I knew that I wanted another chance to prove myself, I told him that I would understand if he went through with a divorce. Anyways, I told my husband that I would do anything to regain his trust and express my sorrow and regret for having hurt him so much. My husband has always been the type of guy to give a person only one chance. Even in his friendships, if the trust had been broken, he wouldn't give the other person another chance. He said that he wanted a divorce, but then the whole quarantine thing happened and he stayed in the house for about 2 months. And
Innocent flirting? Dude, come on. There's no such thing as innocent flirting. She is showing regret, but genuinely, there is no reality where you should accept that behavior. There is no reality where you should take her back. That is something that you cannot come back from. If you did take her back, always in the back of your head, from now on until the end of the relationship, you're going to think, ooh, what is she doing at work? Wow, is she with that guy now? Oh, what is she doing at the grocery store? Is she flirting with the cashier? Oh, what is she doing at the coffee shop? And it's just gonna be this infinite loop of calling back to when she cheated on you. And then on top of that, in her mind, and then on top of that, in her mind, she's going to always know that you let her get away with it. You let her do the most disrespectful thing possible to you, and you let her get away with it. Absolutely unacceptable. Horrible behavior. I mean, you have children involved too. But on top of that, now he has to quarantine with her for 2 months. Yikes, let's see how it goes.
Months and didn't proceed with the divorce. For the first month, he treated me very coldly, and the only time we talked was when it had to do with our daughters. I slept on the couch and tried to give him as much space as he needed, and only reminded him from time to time that if he ever wanted to work things out, I'd be more than willing to, and would be completely devoted to the process of him working things out. He even said some spiteful things during that month and distanced himself from me completely. During the second month, there was a change as he began talking to me again. We talked about the daily stuff and even watched movies together with the girls as a family.
Oh no.
I felt like he wanted to try reconciling, and I was so happy. I was thrilled that there might be some chance to save my family, to save us. Eventually, through the next couple of days, I could sense us becoming friends all over again. He even invited me to sleep on the bed again. Oh, Jesus Christ. A betrayed spouse sent this story to me and told me that it was a proper atonement. Okay, so bear with me. Bear with me. A couple of weeks passed by, and we were getting along even better than ever. We were spending time as a family again and had gotten closer with each other as well. I felt really good about the way things were going, but I wish I'd suggested marriage counseling. I just didn't want to pressure him and have him think that I wanted to sweep this situation under the rug, or I was trying to influence him to not divorce me. One night we were drinking a bit, just talking in the bedroom, and I felt a genuine connection rebuilding. It felt like we were falling for each other all over again, and it made me so happy. This is the part I regret now. I decided to make a move on him and straddled him while we were laughing at a joke. We looked each other in the eyes so naturally. I began making out with him. It honestly felt like we were 20 all over again. He kissed me back as well, but after a while, he just started crying. He told me to stop and said that he couldn't. I felt so awful because I felt like he wanted to, but didn't.
Stop it. Get some help.
Homie, no, bro. This is so wild, bro. I really hope he doesn't take her back. This is just absolutely unacceptable. Like, I get the whole quarantine thing. Maybe money is tight. You can't get your own place. So he's definitely in a difficult situation, 100%. But what he was doing in the beginning, just the cold shoulder, you stay over there, keep to yourself. Just stick with that, bro, at least. And the thing was, he let the emotions flow in that moment of intimacy. Because I guarantee you, in his head, he was thinking, this is the chick. This is the chick that was touched by another man. She's no longer mine. And that's when he just couldn't hold it together anymore. Like, damn, dude, damn. That's exactly true. I'm super curious to see where the story goes, though.
At the same time, it broke my heart directly to see how badly my stupid decision had hurt him. I told him that I was sorry, and we went to sleep. The reason I say I regret doing this is because I feel like this moment pushed him away forever. 2 days later, he informed me that he wanted to go through with the divorce. He said that he just doesn't think he could make it work even after trying for the last 2 months. I wanted to fight with him about it, but I just told him I understood. We had already decided before that if a divorce was to happen, it would be on fair terms. Sure, we'd both have lawyers and we'd agree on a lot of stuff together. He wanted to take a 2-week trip, but he would come back to pick up the girls after his trip. We both mutually agreed that he'd split the time with his girls after his trip. They would spend half of the week with him and the other half with me. I even helped him pack up his stuff, and we finished. I just bawled my eyes out, and we hugged it out. After his 2-week trip, he came back, and it felt good seeing him again, but I knew it wasn't the same. He just smiled, and we made small talk before he took the girls. We're both really good parents and want the best for our kids. Today, I got served divorce papers. It hurts so much to know that I lost my best friend because I was stupid. You were starved for attention, okay? Not stupid. Sometimes I roll over to his side of the bed in the morning and I hate how I don't feel his body there anymore. I miss his smell, his smile, his voice. I miss him filling up the entire room with his loud, adorable laughter. I miss him so much. The thing that hurts me the most is all of this is knowing how badly I hurt the person I love the most. I wish I could go back in time and undo what I did, but I can't. So now, here I am, writing about it on Reddit while crying when there's nothing that I can do about it. I wish I could let him see for himself what I genuinely feel in my heart about how sorry I am and about how I would be the most devoted wife ever if he just gave me another chance to let him know how much I love him and that I literally would do anything for him. I fucked up the most perfect thing that ever happened to me. I wish I could get him back but I know that I lost him for good.
All right, so hats off to the bro. Good for you for walking away. Good, because you do see some remorse from her side, definitely. Like, she admits that she really, really messed up. But the whole time she's talking about what she misses, what her emotional state is like. Just a selfish attitude. She said innocent flirting. There's no such thing if you're already in a relationship. Yeah, exactly. Innocent flirting is basically soft cheating, because flirting is a precursor to a relationship. No man should ever forgive cheating. Whether you're in a relationship or marriage, that's the ultimate betrayal. Once the trust has been broken, there is no going back. The marriage relationship is over. Yeah, 100%. I like that comment. The man felt the betrayal of their intimacy to the core when his wife tried to have sex with him. He visualized how she heartlessly did the same thing with her coworker, and he realized that such a thing isn't an accident. Thoroughly disgusted, it was easy for him to divorce after that. Yeah, 100%. You know, there's a reason why traitors get such a harsh punishment. It's because they are betraying the thing that is closest to them, the ones that provided for them, built them up, and betraying that relationship, betraying that trust, and doing that is truly just one of the worst things that you can do. Once that line is crossed, it's never the same again. Yeah. I also think that cheating hurts men more than it hurts women, because when women cheat, it's an emotional connection to get there. So for her to even be in a mind state where she's open to cheating like that, she had to disconnect from you. That's a big deal, bro. That's a really big deal. So not only did she disconnect from you, she reconnected to some other dude. Women's sexuality is all up here. But when men cheat, it's much more of a just physical thing. Like Tom Likas said, it's just like taking a piss. But truly, when women do it, it is much worse. Oh, that's so unfair. You think women and men cheating is different? Yeah, it is.
Accepting that you are most likely going to be alone for the rest of your life is a really hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And it's not even because there's anything wrong with me or that I am not deserving.
Okay.
I'm just tired. I've spent most of my life recovering from men who have caused so much trauma.
Oh boy.
My physical brain cannot handle anymore. It is always in survival mode. It is always in fight or flight mode. My brain has never fully recovered from the trauma that has been caused. I meet guys and I feel like I'm constantly looking for a reason to not trust them because I have never experienced a good man before. Like, I've never been in a good, healthy relationship. I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know what to look for. I don't know what is normal. I've never experienced normal. How am I supposed to know? And now I'm 37, and every man that I meet is disappointing and doesn't add value to my life, doesn't make me happy, and I just don't want to settle anymore. How do I know if someone is the one? I mean, is there something wrong with me? I question it all the time, but I know that I'm just fucking traumatized. What does a loving man feel like? What does a healthy relationship feel like? What does it feel like when you have found your person? I've been in so many relationships, long relationships, and no one has ever added value to my life or made me feel like I was enough. And it makes me sad that I have never gotten to experience this. It genuinely makes me sad. But I just don't know if it actually exists. So I will probably be alone. And that scares me, but I am slowly accepting that this is probably my fate. And I need to learn to love myself, and I need to tell myself that that is enough, that I don't need a partner to be whole. And that is my journey right now. I'm not an expert. I am not putting expert advice into the world. This is just my journey and what I'm going through right now. And if you're going through the same, you're not alone. I don't know, maybe that's my purpose, to learn to be on my own and let others know that it's okay.
It's all cool. This is truly what excess dating does to women. It really does. But here's the thing, bro. They have no one to blame but themselves. You went out there, you chose every single man that you wanted to be with. If you're not able to feel connected, you're not able to feel love, you don't feel like they're bringing value into your life, who's the common denominator? Who is choosing these people for you to be in a relationship with? Is anyone else doing this? You're choosing them. This is on your shoulders. And honestly, statistically, she is correct. She probably will be alone for the rest of her life. That is the truth, bro. As women get older and older, their chances to get in a marriage, get into a long-term relationship, basically fall off a cliff. Like if you aren't married by the time you're like 35, those chances go down so significantly that they basically disappear. And the thing is, it's like you can't really blame the men either for not wanting to get in a relationship with you. She literally says it herself. She can't feel love, she can't feel connected, she's been traumatized from her past, she's getting older. Okay, so now what is the value that you're bringing? Just a bunch of baggage. Kind of a rough deal for any dude getting involved, let's be real.
If you're here watching this video, chances are you're a man, you probably work in tech, finance, maybe sales, and all you can think right now is, God, when is this woman just gonna step on me, right? I nailed it, didn't I? Well, I never step on a man the first time we meet. So, looks like you're gonna have to stick around.
What kind of weird ass fetish is that?
It is never not hilarious to me that people threaten women with "you'll end up alone." Like, I am fully convinced that people never read the data on this, but like, do you know how happy divorced women are? Like, we just published a video essay yesterday on rom-coms and all of the insane messages they taught us, most of which, because obviously we're a financial channel, are like economic and consumerist. But one of them is that, like, in the framing of these movies, all of the young women, and they're like all in their 20s, because the other message is that if you don't get married by 30, your life is over. Like, they have an amazing career, an amazing group of friends, tons of disposable income. They're living their passions, and yet their lives are worthless because they're not married. And like, aside from the fact that that is like obviously socioeconomically not the case, like the framing that you can have absolutely everything in life, and because you don't have a man, none of it matters, is like literally the exact opposite of how it works. Like, they have done numerous studies on divorced women, and overwhelmingly they report being happier post-divorce, often report significantly happier, and even many times report being the happiest they've ever been, including before they've gotten married. Meanwhile, divorced men generally either decrease in happiness or immediately get remarried so they have another woman to take care of them. Anyway, the message of rom-coms and just pop culture generally is that women need to hurry and get married as soon as possible, otherwise the rest of their lives are irrelevant, when the reality of the data is that unless a man is truly additive to your happiness, you are much better off alone. And anytime a man tells you, like, don't do X or Y because you'll end up single, like, the only appropriate response is like, you promise?
So she's basically trying to convince other women to be alone. What's the whole point of that video? Yeah, just be alone. Be a corporate boss babe slave like me. Go get 5 cats and just be alone forever. It's awesome. And honestly, now I'm at a point with all these studies and everything where I just have a hard time believing any of it, flat out, from either side. Because the thing is, when you actually dig into these studies, there's so much like manipulative ways to move the numbers in specific ways that just align with their ideologies, and that's true for both sides. So I can basically guarantee you that I could find a study that says, oh no, women are more depressed after they get divorced, and it's just throwing these propaganda studies back at each other. So I have a hard time believing any of that stuff, to be honest. Is there some truth in it? Probably, yeah, because you do hear about some women's experiences where they're like, yeah, I got divorced and I was so happy after that, but then always a couple of years later they're like, oh my God, what did I do? I don't have a family. I don't have a man. I just literally, the cats just keep piling up. I don't even know where they come from. It just comes with being an old single woman. I'm completely alone. There's no one to take care of me. I don't have any friends because they all have men and children. Because I just guarantee you, for the most of you guys watching right now, you probably know of some single woman adjacently to you, or that's close to you, that's around 50 to 60 years old, that doesn't have any children, something like that. And dude, just seeing that is so depressing, bro. It is so depressing. You have no idea. You know, I really think a lot of women's life is defined by how they spent their 20s and early 30s. If they didn't capitalize on those super precious years, it can define them for the rest of their lives. It really, really can. And you can call me misogyny for that, call me whatever you want, but that's just facts. If this woman decides that she wants to be alone and just cope with cats, okay. Yeah, good for you. Have fun.
Christian wives, can I just let you in on a little secret about what is slowly destroying your husband? It says in the book of Proverbs 12:4, an excellent wife is the crown of her husband. I bet you that's your goal, that you want to be the crown of your husband, the most precious thing to him. But she who brings shame is like rottenness to his bones. There is nothing that will steal the joy and the confidence of your husband more than your nagging. More than you calling him out on all those little things in order that you could secretly shame him into changing. You will not shame him into changing. You will rot his bones.
I don't think that this little man has gotten the memo that we don't care. We pick the bear. We would pick a squirrel. I would pick a flea over one of them. Is my mission in life to be the crown of my husband? I don't have a husband. I have a partner. And God, no, we've decentered men. We've all picked the bear. Ladies, believe me when I say that these little half-raised baby boys do not want a partner. They want a sexy little mom with benefits.
Okay, dude, I'm so distracted. Are her eyebrows moving across the country? Are they trying to separate themselves like men do from her? Just slowly like... Okay. I'm being mean, okay? I'm just so distracted by that.
Come home to your sexy little self looking absolutely perfect and skinny with your long, luscious locks and your glossy lips and your cute little sundresses and dinner coming hot out of the oven and their beautiful little babies toddling around the kitchen. And if you ask them to put their socks in the hamper or, I don't know, put the milk jug back in the fridge or anything, then somehow you're a nag. And somehow he's insinuating that Jesus didn't want wives to nag because he's throwing scriptures around there like some type of a Jesus-loving ninny muggin. And all the boys are scratching their heads going, why this 4 Bs, 5 Bs, 6 Bs now? There's 7 Bs. Why are we swiping left and swiping right and swiping up and down and nobody's swiping back on us? And I don't know if choice lesbianism is a thing, but I'm all for it. I think it's time that we all stop breeding with narcissists. In a couple hundred years, this will all die off. The future will thank us. I can't even think of a good wrap-up. He's left me speechless.
There's a lot going on with that one, but let's talk about the nagging. So let's go both ways with this, okay? Women shouldn't nag because it's annoying. But the justification is that basically you're not fulfilling your job on your side. So it depends what it is, honestly, bro. So it depends. It can be her fault, but it can also be your fault. Because if you're not performing as a man, she feels like she has to step up. But if you are performing as a man, you are doing your masculine duties, you're the head of your household, you're leading her, and she is still nagging you, okay, that's her fault. And you need to check that. Just tell her, stop asking me. Flat out. But it's whatever, bro. Another one bites the dust. Like the video, subscribe, stay on the path of progress. I'll see you later.